You feel it the second you stand up, that deep, stiff ache in the knees, the one that makes you put a hand on the table to push yourself up out of the chair. Maybe you've started taking the stairs one at a time, leading with the good leg. Maybe you've quietly stopped getting down on the floor at all because you're not sure you'd make it back up. And somewhere in the back of your mind is the picture you don't say out loud. The cane, then the walker, then waiting on someone to help you to the bathroom in your own house. I know that ache because I lived it. And I want to tell you something the painkiller aisle and the brace company will never tell you. Stiff knees after 60 are not just worn-out parts you have to manage from here on out. For most of us, they are a muscle problem, a muscle you can rebuild, and it takes about 10 minutes a day in a chair you already own. So, stay with me. Because there's one small move I'll give you at the very end. You can do it sitting in front of the television. That did more for my knees than anything else I tried. And before that, I'll show you the one mistake that makes almost every knee exercise useless and actually leaves your knees sorer than when you started. Most people make it without ever knowing. But first, let me show you what's really going wrong inside a stiff knee. Once you see it, the fix is going to seem obvious. Here's the part nobody explains, and it's the whole thing. Your knee is a hinge. But a hinge is only as good as what holds it steady, and what holds your knee steady is the big muscle on the front of your thigh. That muscle is what straightens your leg. It's what lifts you up out of a chair. It's what catches your weight step after step on the way down a flight of stairs. When it's strong, it carries the load, and the joint just glides. When it's weak, the joint takes the full weight of you with nothing supporting it, and that's when it grinds and aches and swells. Now here's the cruel part. After 60, if you move a little less, that muscle quietly shrinks. Nobody warns you. It just slips away a little every year. And a weaker muscle means a more painful knee, and a more painful knee makes you move even less, which shrinks the muscle even more, round and round. You're not imagining it, and you're not just getting old. You're caught in a spiral, and almost nobody tells you it runs in both directions. And it isn't only the muscle. A joint is built to move. The fluid that keeps your knee gliding, slick, and quiet gets stirred and refreshed every single time you bend and straighten the leg. Sit still for hours, overnight, or all afternoon in the chair, and that fluid goes thick and settles. That's exactly why those first few steps in the morning feel like the knee is packed with sand. Gentle movement is what wakes it back up. And that part you can feel within days, long before the muscle ever catches up. In Japan, doctors actually have a name for where this spiral ends. They call it locomotive syndrome, locomo for short. It just means your body slowly losing the ability to move itself around, to stand, to walk, to climb your own stairs. They gave it a name, and they track it. Because roughly a quarter of all the people who end up needing nursing care in Japan get there through exactly this. Not the heart, not the memory, the legs and the joints giving out first. And the story we get told about it is the worst part. It's too late. It's just arthritis. It's just your age now. Manage the pain and keep your expectations low. I believed every word of that. I did exactly what you probably did. I babied it. I sat more. I took the pills that quieted it down for a few hours and did nothing for the muscle underneath. The pills and the braces treat the ache. They never once touch the reason it's there. But that muscle does not know how old you are. It responds to being used at any age. That's not a hope. That's just how muscle works. And the people who have figured out how to wake it back up gently without wrecking the joint in the process are the people I want to tell you about. What finally moved me wasn't even the pain. It was catching myself planning my whole day around my knees, parking as close as I could, taking the long, flat way around to avoid a single flight of stairs, turning down a visit because I knew the good chairs were up a step. The day I realized I was quietly shrinking my own life to fit my knees, that was the day I decided I'd rather do the work. There had to be something I could do with the knees I still had. That's when I started looking in earnest. I didn't go looking for anything Japanese. I went looking for anything that didn't hurt and actually worked. I'd tried the pills. I'd tried a brace that promised everything and delivered a sweaty knee. I'd tried the big jug of supplement powder that just made my wallet lighter. None of it touched the real problem because none of it was aimed at the muscle. Then I came across the way they train movement in Japan, and what caught me was how little it asked of me. No gym, no floor exercises I couldn't get up from, no equipment to buy. Just a sturdy chair, about 10 minutes, and a way of moving that's so simple it looks like nothing. I remember thinking there was no chance something this gentle could rebuild anything. I was wrong about that, and I'm glad I was. If nobody has ever shown you this, that's exactly why I make these videos. Subscribe, and I will keep them coming, one simple thing at a time. Now, let me show you what actually changed it for me. They call it REIHO. It just means something close to proper form, the slow, deliberate way the old samurai were trained to stand, to sit, and to carry themselves. Not exercise exactly, a way of moving on purpose. And here is the quiet genius of it. You already stand up and sit down dozens of times a day. Out of the chair, off the bed, up from the couch, every one of those is a chance to load that thigh muscle or a chance you waste by flopping down and shoving yourself back up. REIHO takes the movement you are already doing and slows it down, so your own body weight becomes the gentlest possible strength training for the exact muscle that holds your knee. It is not a guess. In a Japanese study just last year, older folks who moved this way, slow, controlled standing and sitting, gained close to a quarter more strength in their knees. A quarter. From standing up and sitting down on purpose. No weights, no machines, no pain. And what that strength buys you is the thing this is really about. Getting up out of your own chair, climbing your own stairs, getting down to the garden and back on your own steam without a hand reaching out for you. So, here's exactly how to do it. 10 minutes. I'll go slow because the how matters more than anything. Start with the chair, a firm one that doesn't roll, against a wall if you've got it. Sit toward the front, feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. Now the first move, the heart of the whole thing. Stand up slowly, count to 4 on the way up. Then sit back down even more slowly, counting to 4 on the way down until you settle soft into the chair. That slow way down is the secret, so don't rush past it. Use your hands on your thighs to help at first. As you get stronger, let your arms fold across your chest and let the legs do the work. 5 of those to start. Build toward 10. Next, stand behind the chair and rest one hand on the back of it for balance. Bend your knees just a few inches, slow over that same count of 4, and rise back up. Keep your knees pointing the same way as your toes. Small range, 5 to start. Last, sit back down. Straighten one leg out in front of you, slow. Hold it there for 2 or 3 seconds while you squeeze the thigh, then lower it down with control. 8 on each side. Now the mistake I promised you, the one that makes all of this useless and leaves you sore. It's speed, it's bouncing up and dropping down and using momentum to fling yourself around. When you do that, you're throwing your weight straight into the joint and skipping the muscle entirely, which is the one thing you came here to work. Slow is not me being careful with you. Slow is the whole medicine. If you only remember one thing, make every move take twice as long as feels natural. If your knees are very stiff or very weak right now, make it smaller. Use a higher chair or a cushion to sit on. Keep both hands helping. Shrink the range. Do fewer. A gentle version you actually do every day beats a hard one you dread and skip. This is what worked for me. I'm not a doctor, just someone who refused to accept a cane as the next step. So check with your own doctor before you start, especially if there's real swelling or an old injury in there. I want to hear from you on this one. How old are you? And right now, today, can you stand up out of your chair without pushing off with your hands? Tell me down in the comments. There's a whole crowd in there starting alongside you. Now, the small thing I promised at the very start. The chair work rebuilds the strength. This next move sharpens it, and you can do it sitting still, watching your shows. Take a bath towel and roll it into a firm log. Sit down or lie back and slip that roll under one knee so the knee is draped over it with a soft bend. Now press the back of your knee down into the towel, push it down, and tighten the muscle on top of your thigh as hard as you comfortably can. Hold it for a slow count of 5. Feel that thigh go tight and hard. Then let it go. Do 15 of those, then switch legs and do it twice through. It looks like nothing. But that little press wakes up and rebuilds the exact muscle that holds your kneecap in line and absorbs the shock of every single step you take. It's the gentlest move in the whole routine, and for me, it's the one that finally took the morning ache away. I started looking forward to it. So let me bring you back to that chair, the one you brace yourself against, hand on the table, getting ready to push. The one that started to feel like a small defeat every time. I get up out of mine now without thinking about it, without my hands. A sturdy chair and 10 quiet minutes a day did that, not a surgeon, not a needle, not a single pill. And I'll tell you plainly, the way I wish someone had told me, this was never really about your knees. It's about staying the person who gets up out of his own chair, climbs his own stairs, and gets down to the garden and back without calling for anyone. That's the whole thing. That's what we're protecting here. If that's what you want too, the next video on your screen is where I'd go next. It's how you rebuild the strength in the rest of your legs to match. I'll see you there.